Behind the scenes, I'm your host, the flu carrier with the most.
Yes, you are
The
a
plague demon. The plague demon. No, I'm a subjugate of the plague demon Nurgle.
A subjugate.
Mhm.
Grand.
I am your
grandpappy
flu carrier.
of all diseases. For
Mhm.
those who are familiar,
If you
with
know,
the
that's
tabletop
actually
game,
let's just make that our. Tell us who Nurgle is and what he does on our social media.
That's our.
And you can
and
win
you can
a
win.
ride at Off-Road Rentals in Palm Springs, California. Because if I must suffer knowing this information, so must you.
It's not suffering to
It
know
is.
Warhammer
It
information.
is so
You knew it
much
before
suffering.
I even came into the fold, so you
I
can't
know.
even blame
I blame my brother.
Your brother did you a favor, really, and now you're
He did not.
throwing him under the bus.
The only favor he did. So for those that don't know, I actually got the job with Guardians of the Galaxy because I knew a lot about comic books. I knew a lot about comic books because my brother sucks.
But your job was selling it to various markets,
yes.
right?
But so you still have to understand it because you're creating a marketing strategy and you have to understand the audience.
I mean, I think comic book fans are the same everywhere, right? I would imagine that they just love to see the super powered super people punch each other and the occasionally scantily clad woman.
And this is my co-host knows nothing about marketing films, Fiorda.
You misspoke, bear.
Yes, I did.
It's not how you say it. It's 4 letters.
There are 4 letters I'd like to say. There are 4 letters I'd like to say to you, but it ends with you.
4 letters you like to say to me, but it ends with you.
Yes.
Okay. Well, it's not.
We have a lot going on in the media. We have a lot going on in media right now. It is Royal Ascot. And again, I didn't go.
God, what is Royal Ascot?
Why have you not taken me to Royal Ascot?
What is it?
Oh, it's a horse races in the UK.
Oh, so you want to watch horses race each other?
Yes.
We can go to a farm here and make that happen.
That's not how any of that works. I do like the Kentucky Derby as well. The Princess of Wales looked fabulous in a sunshine yellow outfit for the Kentucky Derby, for the Royal Ascot. This is what you did, your ground.
Yeah, well, you said Kentucky
for
Derby.
For Royal Ascot, but there's been a lot going on this weekend.
Our sound engineer real fast said that the word you were trying to call me starts with the letter F.
Yes.
Or say to me, how? It's 4 letters.
Mm-hmm.
F.
If you see K, say hi. I have a friend named Kay. That's all I'm going with. And it ends with you. Yeah, no, I don't know why he's carrying on. He knew what this was at the entire beginning. So I don't know why you're like carrying this joke on.
Because if it's fuck, then that's 4 letters.
That's what I said.
But then if it ends with a U, that would be 5.
No, the next word is you. I'd like to remind everyone, every time we use bad language on this channel, we give money to the Boys and Girls Club of America, the Humane Society of America, and Free MMA. We swear because we care.
Fuck yes, we do.
No, it's the Sean Patrick Flannery rule. We have to give money to charity because Hollywood people can't keep their mouth clean.
Oh, he especially can say.
Especially.
Not only can I not follow jokes, I can't.
Bear has brain damage. So essentially, what we've got going on with Royal Ascot, We've had multiple royal processions. We've had Royal Ascot, which I didn't get to go to, but I do have a beautiful hat.
You missed the English Kentucky Derby. I'm sorry. We'll find time to go next year. Is it still going?
Yes.
I mean, would you rather go to that or the FIFA World Cup? What's more important?
Ascot, you fool. Anyway, nobody cares about.
There are a lot of people asking about the FIFA World Cup. So I thought
I understand it's a FIFA thing. I don't. I like the World Cup. I of course want my teams to win, but I much prefer the horse races.
I understand.
And it's not the English Kentucky Derby. You guys you guys copy the Kentucky Derby from Royal Ascot.
Okay. So you want to go?
And I like going to races in general. I like horse races and polo and everything in general.
Now I will say I have a new respect for polo. I never saw it as a kid, never watched it as an adult until very recently.
I took him to polo. He decided it was MMA on horses.
Well, I mean, I don't think it's MMA on horses because they can't hit each other per se. But I love it's got the same fear thing going on in my head.
It's violence. He likes violence.
It is very violent. I would say it's like hockey, but you threw horses into the rink instead now, you know? That's what it reminds me of.
I don't know if you and I go into the same polo matches.
I'm watching grown men slam into each other, but now there's beasts of burden underneath them. Is a horse considered a beast of burden?
Yes.
Yes, it is. Yeah, there you go.
I have the flu.
so you don't.
I have zero patience.
We were talking about.
I'm supposed to be going. I'm
this,
supposed
so
to be going through what's going on in media, and so far our conversations have consisted of pubic hair on Bear's back, which our sound engineer producer is never going to. Yeah, is never going to get out of his head. Bear's ruined his weekend, and then we started talking about merkins and why millennials have to wear them for media. For those that don't know, a merkin is a wig for the pubis. And that came into style because millennials.
What did we do?
Waxed every bit of hair from the personal area ever. And it was done so that in adult content, the penetrative actions could be more clearly seen. I make everything sound so unsexy.
So hospital right now.
Well, the penetrative actions could be seen more clearly for audience engagement and
this is why
delight.
Your job is marketing.
And this is why my job is marketing. And also, I know when I modeled for Victoria's Secret. They didn't want to see the line of pubic hair. So from the time of puberty, the models are getting their pubis waxed.
Our sound engineer has chimed in once again to say that he will play the song Small World on repeat all weekend to replace the thoughts of pubic hair on my back.
Now that came in because Bear was talking. I was told he needed to shave his face. The problem is we're talking about his face, and then he started talking about his back.
Well, we said before the show started that bears don't shave. Okay, I am Bear. You don't shave. But then she's like, well, if you saw his back, then you would say otherwise. And reasonable enough. My back, kind of patchy. That's all it is. And I made the smallest joke, right? That some places are bare skin, other places are, as coarse as groin follicles.
Pubic hair. He said he has pubic hair on his back. The reality is he is covered in a fine fuzz or hair on every inch of his body. His earlobes. If you guys get a chance, go watch his TikToks. His earlobes have hair on them.
Don't encourage them.
I didn't even know that's like, if you look, I didn't even know it's possible. See,
I'm pulling
earlobe hair. He has
Christ.
hair on his earlobes.
Those nails
I have never met a person with that much hair.
Well, hey, first time for everything, love.
I've dated Russians. No one has had as much hair as me.
That would shock me more because I would think they have to develop hair on their body.
Nope. You're hairier. You're hairier. Your history is Scots German, and you are hairy.
I was definitely born in the wrong environment. I'd say that for sure. Then, yeah, I was not designed for the desert, but so be it. We are here now.
It's like bringing a husky to the desert. There are mistakes that were made. We're supposed to be talking about what's going on in pop culture, and we are talking about Bear's back pubics.
This is all right. Go back to pop culture. I'll leave it alone for right now, and I'll follow your lead.
So there's a growing backlash on. So speaking of back pubis, there is a growing backlash against algorithm-driven misogyny.
I don't even think a growing backlash should have been backlash, period. Algorithm driven misogyny, is that implying that the algorithm of any social media platform is pushing out?
So it's been pushing out really misogynistic content. It's been pushing out trad wife content. It's been pushing out super misogynistic content. It's been pushing out the Andrew Tateism, the stuff that you're making anti-Andrew Tate content, the opposite of you. So it's been pushing this out pretty consistently, and people are now pushing back against it.
As they should.
And what they're missing is the reason this content's done so well is love it or hate it, like or share. The algorithm does not care. Yeah, so it's like or hate, love or share. The algorithm does not care. It doesn't care if you like it or hate it. It cares if you engage with it. And because it outrages people, they engage with it.
Oh, yeah. Guys, anything that you do to someone else's profile, if you message them, if you share a piece of content, if you comment on it, if you like it, if you're on Facebook and you dislike it, the platform doesn't care. It'll keep putting it out there. The best thing you do if you hate something, you really don't want anyone else to have to see it, you want it to go away, is to ignore it. Pretend like you never saw it. Move it, go away. I mean, some places you can flag and you can submit different reasons why it should be removed, but a lot of times they ignore that. I'll just be real with you. I don't think there's been but a couple times where someone wrote something on my page that genuinely got a platform to look at it. Most of the time, their own AI programs assess whether or not your content
Audacity sells. It's why we had the White House card, which only got like 8.2 million viewers. By the way, Jake Paul has declared himself the top MMA sports rep, and he's right. His outdid the White House card.
It did not. It did the same.
But that's the thing.
But I'll say this.
Pause.
Okay, go ahead. Fine.
It outdid the White House card. There was more promotion for the White House card. There was more money spent on the White House card. If you get the same, if you get the same viewership and you spend less, you won. I'm sorry, my specialty is distro. If I spend $80 million on a project and it costs me, and I bring back $80 million, I lost. If I get 8.2 million viewers on something, I've spent the amount of money the White House has spent to build things and do things there.
That's it. I'd lost. I definitely don't think they spent anywhere near the amount of money that they made on it, because it was a very cheap setup.
No, it wasn't. What you're missing, you're looking at the quality of the physical, doesn't matter. You're looking at the quality of build, not the cost of the Secret Service, not the cost of the fencing, not the cost of security, not the cost of the advertising, not the cost of closing the streets, not the cost. It doesn't matter if it's a cheap looking setup. So you had to completely, oh, hell yes. You had to completely redo the lawn. You had to completely redo everything. This was bad. And anybody in numbers can see it was bad. If I have to pay, so yes, the government is the main one that's going to be paying most of these fees.
So your tax dollars paid for that, by the way, folks.
Exactly. And it only made 8.2 mil. That is really, really bad. Now, I am not a huge Jake Paul fan, but I got to say, he's not wrong. He is the future of the sport.
Well, he's certainly pushing himself that way, and it's looking like it. I don't like it.
People, it doesn't matter if you declare if you declare something and you back it up. That is what happens. You call yourself the greatest. If you pull a Conor McGregor, you call yourself the greatest fighter, and you fight and fight and fight. You don't have to win all the time, but just enough for people to believe you. It is about audacity. That is all marketing is. Marketing is audacity.
Hell, life's about audacity. If you walk into a place where you know you're not supposed to be, but just look like you know what you're doing, people leave you alone. It's very simple.
Speaking of audacity, Bear has a book coming out we will be talking more about. So do you want to tell everyone a little bit about that?
Well, yeah, but I would say it's got less to do with audacity and more
I think it's audacity. I think it is. It's dealing with audacity. It's dealing with it's dealing with audacity. It's telling people to have audacity.
It's definitely telling you that there's ways to find the confidence in you. It's basically what it means to be a good, strong man in the modern age today. And I think a lot of young men kind of suffer with this idea of, I need to be like this person or that person. I need to follow Andrew Tate. I need to follow Aiden Ross. I need to follow all these really shitty humans out there. When in reality,
the Blake Lively's of the world.
I would have said her husband, but yes, for young men. But in reality, you just really have to be yourself and use a little bit of common sense. And that goes a long way. So that's what the book is mainly about. And I do talk about it through the eyes of a martial artist and a cage fighter. So if you like hitting people, you'll also enjoy it.
I like that. Now, we have a very special guest on today. My clip just fell. So
yes, and I'm going to announce her by her.
He's been trying to figure out how to say her last name for like 5 minutes.
Because I will butcher the last name, unfortunately. But welcome to the show, Lethal Lauren 904. You can catch her anywhere on social media with the same tags. But how are you doing today?
Hey, I'm good. I was just listening. I thought for a second, I thought you were saying he had the audacity to publish a book. So
that would have been a little mean. She's been a huge supporter of it. She's been a huge supporter of the book more than I have been at times.
Yeah, I'm the one that said the deal. If he doesn't write the book, it's going to be a huge fine. So write the deal.
Okay.
The huge fine. I love that.
Yeah.
All right, babe.
We have been arguing about how to pronounce your last name. Please help us.
Oh, it's nighty, like nightgown.
Nighty. Oh, okay, great. It's a lot closer. It's a lot better than what I was thinking, honestly.
Where did you get to?
Nayday.
Nobody ever gets it right the first time or the fifth time. It is what it is. I got used to it.
Well, thank you so much for your patience with that. I do appreciate it.
No, it's all good, man. Don't worry about it.
And welcome to the show. If you could take a sec, tell everyone a little bit about you. We've got a bunch we want to talk to you about, a little bit of controversy and a lot going on.
Yeah. So I haven't seen you guys in a while. I think it's been almost a year, right?
It has. It's been about a year. We had you on. We promised we'd have you on again. The audience has asked about you, and with this nonsense with Blake Lively and Justin Baldoni, everyone started talking about you and brought you into the conversation.
Yeah, so I started a YouTube channel a couple years ago just to play games, and then I saw like a really crazy case, and I was like, what if I just tried my hand at like talking about something like this? I felt like I had something that people weren't considering that I wanted to say. And it was this wild case where a lady was like faking serial pregnancies. And so I made a video, and then this guy, Dave Neal, found me. And so I've been making videos ever since with his encouragement. Somehow got roped into this lawsuit with Justin Baldoni and Blake Lively, to where I was subpoenaed for some really weird, invasive personal information, even though I didn't know these people, had nothing to do with the case. She is still dragging this out to this day. Now we have this California law that she is trying to, where she is kind of exploited in a way to where she's getting a little bit of money out of these people. But just watching the PR headlines and how things are misrepresented made me want to keep talking about the things that happen in these court cases that I'm following, because I feel like people need to hear not the spin on either side, but what I actually think is happening. And then people can disagree with me if they want to, but I'm going to read the whole thing. I'm going to tell you exactly what's going on. So that's kind of how I landed here.
I find it deeply interesting. I've never seen someone so invested in being a victim. It's actually really impressive.
Yeah.
Like, that's not the marketing I would go for, but cool. It seems to be what she's going for. Now, you're absolutely one of the, I don't want to use the term talking heads, but like, he's a talking head for MMA. You've become very much a talking head for this particular case and for legal, which really is not the direction it sounds like, had intended on going.
No, I was just trying to make funny Fortnite clips. I was like playing games with my family on online. I wasn't doing anything like that. And then one day I just kind of fell into it.
A bit of a leap from where you so your plan was Fortnite, and now you are involved in an investigation with international press and have been subpoenaed and brought into tabloid scandal by Blake Lively.
Yeah, I woke up one day and I was the top story on page 6, and I was like, excuse me?
That not a linear path.
No, not at all. I was like, what is happening here? I don't know how to explain this to people that I know. Because you have this kind of like internet ecosystem that I feel like we're all a part of, and everybody's got their own little bubbles. And so I was in my bubble when I'm on the internet, and then all of a sudden the bubble expanded to my real life. And I was like, what is going on here?
That, you say that in such a way that I'm curious, what were your first thoughts when you learned, oh shit, this is now impacting me, not just like my social media or an outer realm of personality. This is hitting me at home.
Yeah, I mean, it was tough because some people, have different opinions than me about the case, who I have known throughout my life and have had some sort of relationship to, and we didn't agree on that, and so they don't really.
Did they not read the case?
No.
Okay.
That's a big difference.
Well,
there.
no, I'm saying like she literally dissects this. It's that she has more information. The only people that are going to have more are the lawyers.
Nah, these people they're not going to spend hours and hours and hours reading thousands of documents. You know what I mean? So like, it was kind of weird for a while. I was getting comments from people that I know that were like, I don't know why you're saying this. And I was like, well, I could explain it to every single person that I know, or I could just move on with my life. So it was kind of odd in that way. And also getting text messages from like my mom, like, hey, somebody saw a story about you and asked me about it. And I was like, this is not something I ever intended for my life.
I'm really happy you went with the move on part of that.
I like that. No, I like the fact that her mom was like, well, I just got yelled at by the checkout girl. You're in the papers.
Yeah, it wasn't like a rude, I don't think it was a rude question, but it was just weird to get text messages like that. I'm like, oh no, because normally I can just shut it off. I turn off my computer, I put my phone away, and I can do whatever I want with my day, and it has nothing to do with Blake Lively or anyone else that I talk about online, anyone else's cases. And then all of a sudden it was like worlds colliding, and I couldn't escape it. And so that was kind of dark for a little while. It was depressing, to be honest.
And
how did you cope with that? Because that is something people don't look at when you step into social media. You think, a lot of people think they obviously don't get your reach, and they don't get they don't always hit as big a topic, but sometimes people will stumble into these moments where social media becomes overwhelming. How do you cope with that?
Yeah. Well, I think it was kind of, I feel like I grew up at a good time right before social media really hit. When I was going into college was right when social media was starting to take off the way that it was. So I kind of learned to exist offline when I was growing up, which was good. And so now I do just kind of put the phone away, and I have certain people that I'll talk to. I'll go visit my parents down the road, or I'll, go do something that I like to do that's not on the internet. And that's the only thing I really can do. I like to travel, so I try to go places and not post about it. You know what I mean? Try to remind myself, oh, these are things that I'm supposed to enjoy, that I'm not supposed to share with everybody. Not everybody's supposed to experience this with me, and that's okay. But sometimes, especially when you're kind of, I don't make my living off of YouTube the way that a lot of people do, because I have a full-time job, but like I do make income from it. So it starts to become obligatory almost. And I had to stop that and make sure that wasn't happening, because I used to just share everything all the time because I'm an open person, but I had to stop doing that.
Yeah, just start reaching for analog moments.
All right.
I was actually wondering, and I was going to ask, does having that life and that job outside of talking about Blake Lively case and outside of social media, does that help deal with the stress that comes from it? Because there's somewhere else that you have like purpose, good value, and whatnot.
Yeah, I mean, I wake up in the morning and I sign into our morning meetings, and I'm not being asked about Blake Lively. So it's like, okay, I'm good. We're starting off the day in the real world here. I'm not like, because Blake Lively, I don't know Blake Lively. She wanted to know my location and all that, but like, I don't know why. But like,
she wanted to know you.
Oh no, that's just intimidation. That's not.
That was weird. That was really weird.
That's very much intimidation. That's.
Yeah. So I start my day just kind of like in the normal, people that I talk to every day, and I don't have to worry about it until later when I'm like making content. So
that's fair. I feel bad asking this now, considering everything we just said.
Don't
but with the whole Blake Lively case, there was a recent thing where the judge had actually now ordered Baldoni to pay her lawyer fees. And I know they settled kind of earlier on too. And if I'm remembering correctly, the last time we spoke, it was really looking like it was kind of leaning in his favor. And so I'm kind of curious on your thoughts of what really has happened between now and then, and why it seems that it's really landed on her side.
The press is what makes it sound like it landed on her side. It hasn't really.
So it's the headlines in the mainstream media are really overselling what's going on here. So her case settled and she got $0. The judge threw out the vast majority of her case and she got $0. And then she settled her remaining claims because she did not want to go before a jury and say the truth about everything that happened when his lawyers had a chance to question her. He was dismissed from the case entirely. The only remaining defendants were one of the crisis PR firms and Wayfair Studios, one of his companies.
Yeah.
But this 47.1 motion, after they settled, what he has to pay is unrelated to her lawsuit. So it has nothing to do with her sexual harassment claims. It has nothing to do with her retaliation claims. It's about this defamation claim that he brought forward and lost. The judge threw that out for pleading deficiencies, meaning they didn't state the claim very well. They didn't lay out their case very well. And so she gets to be reimbursed for that one claim in his countersuit. And so it's not going to be very much money, but she does get that little bit of press that says Justin has to pay Blake's lawyer's fees. And I'm like, it's not, in comparison to what she spent on these cases, she's getting nothing. So
I do feel so much better hearing that.
Well, it's I keep encouraging people to look at you, to look at Popcorned Planet. There are certain people that I'm saying that break this down, and you guys do the research, and there's not a lot of bias. There does seem to be a lot of annoyance towards Blake Lively from yourself and Popcorned Planet and the people that she really screwed over.
Right.
But you guys are very, very factual. Is it difficult to be factual when you have somebody that's been such an ass to you?
I mean, I was pretty, I'm not going to say I'm any less opinionated than I was, but I was pretty colorful in my, the way that I would talk about her and her case in the beginning. Once I found out that she wasn't really telling the truth based on the documents and the video evidence that was out. But I've become less so over time, I think, because I found that my message wasn't really getting across because I was being so kind of, and it was like theatrical, you know what I mean? Like extreme and kind of
I enjoyed
cartoonish.
It was fun.
Yeah. I enjoyed it.
Yeah, no, and I did too. And I think the thing was I was viewing this as I'm venting online about something that I'm reading. And then all of a sudden at one point it was like, this person is trying to involve me in their weird legal affairs. I have to try to take a different approach. I saw the way that behind the scenes, based on the text messages that the Wayfair people had kind of kept their sort of dignity, but at the same time, we're like, we're not engaging with people who hate on us or who are saying things that aren't true. We're not going to engage with that. And I was like, if these people can handle it and they can handle it with grace, then maybe I can too. So I started to try to kind of rein it in a little bit with the language, try to rein it in a little bit with the over the top commentary, even though it's like, yeah, it is fun to vent, especially because I'm actually somebody who's like, if you meet me in person, I'm like really quiet and reserved, and I keep a lot of my thoughts just like in my head because I know that I can say stuff that comes across the wrong way. And so I viewed YouTube as kind of an outlet to where I could just say whatever I wanted. And then all of a sudden it was something else because, I got dragged into her case. So I had to learn to kind of dial that back a little bit and to try to do what served me best in trying to get my message across. So
that makes sense.
Yeah.
I like the self-reflection there too a lot, honestly. And regardless of what anyone else can say, as long as you're happy and enjoying making it, that's kind of what matters here. Because in order for you to make more content, you got to be invested in doing so anyways.
Right. Yeah.
Well, what is your message?
I don't think she told the truth, and I think that's harmful to people who want to come forward in the future who may not be believed, because we've seen things blown out of proportion, and now you have to question even more so the things that you hear, because you have to question what they write in the New York Times, which I believed for a long time was a very credible source of information. I never thought the things that they did behind the scenes, would have been how they handled their business. And now I know there's this huge veil of some of the mainstream media that was lifted. There's this huge veil of some of like the way the court processes work and how some people can abuse it that's been lifted. And I had no idea that these systems could be used this way by very powerful people to hurt other people. So,
I feel like I have so many questions. You can go ahead.
I was going to say, I'm definitely part of the mainstream media side of it. So I get it. I'm used to looking at it and going, okay, we have to defend this actor or we have to protect this actor. And it's what's kept things above board. But I will say the internet and real journalism has come back. Once upon a time, journalism used to be people doing stories and selling them to the newspapers, people really digging. And we're seeing a rebirth of that on the internet. Hugh Jackman's having difficulty keeping the golden boy image after he left his wife for the other woman now and got involved in the Blake Lively, Justin Baldoni thing. You're having people who were once very, very untouchable. You're seeing press back. And it's because of people like you. I'm a huge proponent of freedom of the press. That said, I've in my time buried a lot of stories. So I am definitely part of the problem. I have no qualms saying that. But it's nice to see an openness of press that we haven't seen since press got corporatized.
Yeah.
Yeah, that makes sense. When it makes money, I think it does kind of take away from a lot of the authenticity. You're encouraged to do things and say things that are going to bring more engagement, more money to you. And I think to what you said earlier about you never thought that the company New York Times would be not have credibility behind what they say. And if you have already been doing this, I'm sorry if this question is kind of ignorant, but have you thought about maybe doing videos or investigating into these other publishing houses and into these other kind of news media outlets and see if there isn't anything else you can share with us that, hey, this story was also highly over dramatized or basically given to us as a lie?
I've thought about it, and I've read about it now, because I didn't even know, and as silly as it is to say, I didn't even know that there were media entities that were like all grouped under the same like corporation that owns them. I had no idea until the last couple of years. I've thought about it, but the thing is, like, I have that pesky adult job that I have to do that makes it really difficult, and I'm afraid to let go of that part of my life more to investigate stuff like that. So that's kind of where I'm at a crossroads these days, so where it's like there's so much that I would love to do, but I have to kind of temper my enthusiasm a bit to where I make sure that I'm not throwing my life into this online stuff and what I'm doing on YouTube, because I don't ever want to end up in a situation where it's like, you got subpoenaed by Deadpool's wife, by the way, what are you going to do now? And it's like, all of a sudden, all my worlds are like colliding. And, so I have to kind of pick and choose my battles, so to speak, so where I haven't been able to do that.
What about reaching out to your fan base and saying, hey, I need volunteer reporters, I need volunteer investigators, and actually create a network? I mean, that's what they did back in the day with newspapers. You are really one of, there's you and there's, again, I'm going to say Popcorn Planet. There are a couple of people who legitimately do go out and do this work. And I'd love to see you guys come together. And I say this as somebody that works with Disney. I'm not knocking them, but CNN and Fox are owned by the same company. They pit them against each other on purpose. Tribalism.
See, I didn't even know that.
Oh, so, yeah. Tribalism is a great way to make money.
Yeah.
So Bob Iger, years and years and years ago, now it's Eisner, he's in charge. But when Iger was in charge, one of the things he said was, it doesn't matter if you own the right, it doesn't matter if you own the left, what you have to own is the argument. Because if you pit them against each other, people will throw their money where their tribal beliefs are. Yeah. And so you can have Fox and CNN, Fox and ABC in the same building talking about how much they hate each other and, how evil it is. And they'll go have lunch together because they're doing a job.
Yeah.
So an independent press only exists now through people like yourself. Mm-hmm. You are the last bastion of American press.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I definitely like what I do. It's just, I think this was kind of what I'll probably find out later on when I continue to do this for a long time is this was kind of an outlier case to where it's not always going to become so personal, but it did. And so that's where I'm stuck right now as I'm trying to get past that. So
it became personal. So I'm going to say this as somebody, if I was on the opposing press side, I would encourage them to make you as miserable as possible so you stop doing it and you didn't expand.
Yeah.
So I think it became personal on purpose. Yeah. This was very clearly a shutdown. This was a very clear attack.
Yeah.
Because nobody wants somebody being honest if that's not the narrative I want sold or they want sold. I say this is coming from the other side.
Mm-hmm.
Well, saying that too, I find a lot of what your work is not just being honest with people, but you're defending the people who don't know better. You're giving us an opportunity to learn this. And even when I look and we talk about this other job kind of offhandedly a little bit, but I love that you do medical appeal writing or that you're working at it right now. And for those who don't know, that's basically if you get rejected or the insurance company says, no, you cannot have the service, we're not going to pay for it. This is a lady who comes in and kicks their nuts into their throats and makes them do it.
Yeah, and but so like politely.
And so but it's just across all facets, you're just protecting other people who didn't know better or couldn't do better. Sure. And I just think that's really wonderful.
So what you've chosen to do with your life is be a human shield in your on time and off time.
Yeah, apparently. I worked in psych for the first several years of when I was working. I mean, I had a little job outside of college where I wrote for a magazine called Swim Swam. I was a swimmer through college, so that was my first kind of job. But I did then transition into working in psych. So I did the emergency room evaluations on patients who were brought in here in Florida on Baker Act, which is the involuntary psych petition.
5150 holds.
Yeah, 5150 in California. And so I did that for a long time. And then I transitioned to this job, which was, it had more stable hours. But at the same time, I could still help people in some way to where it's a lot of people get denied by their health insurance companies, and that's not right. But the health insurance companies can get away with it because, people don't know how to appeal. And this way we get referrals from our client hospitals for the patients who don't get their bills paid. And then we're able to help them that way, sometimes reverse that decision. So.
Do you think the jobs or the work you've done throughout your life has had an impact on the content or the way you make content today?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, the first time I ever did a YouTube video talking about anything that was of any I felt importance was this woman had accused a man of impregnating her after non-intercourse. Let's put it that way. And
very plausible.
And so people were dogpiling on this journalist for talking about it. His name's Dave Neal, talking about it, saying you're mocking a mentally ill woman or you're torturing her. And I was like, hello, I work with people who are severely mentally ill all the time, and this woman is just diabolical. And she gets away with it because people write it off as being crazy. And she's ill, don't get me wrong. She's got problems, but at the same time, I felt like I was able to step in and say, hey, you need to hold these people to account when they do stuff like this, because it's not okay to write it off as mental illness and leave the victims of these kinds of things feeling sad and hopeless because what can you do to a mentally ill person who's like really incompetent? This is not incompetence.
That makes sense.
Yeah, somebody who's being awful and evil and diabolical because they can get away with it.
Well, I think infantilizing people with mental illness and saying they're not capable of understanding. Yes, of course, there are positions where when you're dealing with somebody with extreme cases of schizophrenia, they do not know what is going on.
Yeah.
But that is not the average person, and mental illness doesn't make someone incapable. That puts it in the same position, saying if a person's not responsible for their actions, if that's the road they want to take, then you're saying the person's not employable. Then you're saying they're not coverable, then they are not, their word is worthless in court. There's so much that you're piling on there.
Yeah.
But it's not reasonable. I think it's wonderful that you stepped in and did that.
Yeah. Well, she's now being charged with 14 felonies. She's possibly got a criminal trial coming up at the end of next month or beginning of August. I don't know if you ever heard the podcast Love Trapped, but it details the whole story. She's been doing this to a host of men over the last decade, where she's faked several pregnancies. She will like kill one off, always says she's pregnant with twins, kills one off to try to keep the guy around emotionally. And then
it's like that Trisha chick that was involved with Dr. Phil, similar to that. That's really horrible.
Yeah. Her name's Laura Owens.
I'm gonna have to check that out, Laura. Oh, I'm like, now I'm just like,
Laura Owens near you.
Be very careful. All you have to do is like be near her, and she'll be like, "You impregnated me. Well, your life is over." So,
God,
we should get her on the show. It would be fun. That'd be great press, Bear. You can impregnate her across the internet.
Well, I don't mean
to
stay her on top of one subject, but I'm curious if there was ever any talks about how that would occur to her. If there's never any physical,
it's threat. It's essentially people are paying her to go away. They don't want to deal with crazy. It's terrifying, and she's using the crazy as a threat.
So she actually wants to rope these guys into a relationship with the fake pregnancies, and she tries to get them to sign dating contracts. It's actually really everything that you would think that is her motive. It's counterintuitive. She's the weirdest person I've ever heard of.
I need more information. What in God's name is a dating contract?
She tries to make them sign a dating contract saying she won't take them to court for paternity because you don't have to prove you're pregnant to sue somebody for paternity and make them waste their money on lawyers' fees. She threatens to take legal action, and she does take legal action if they don't sign this dating contract. As you see with Clayton Eckerd, who was a former bachelor, he was her latest target. And so she tried to get him to sign a contract to say, we'll date with intention for like 14 days or 7 days or whatever. And then presumably wants to try to get pregnant during that time so that she can actually have a baby with them.
So I'm going to take you to court over this baby that doesn't exist unless you date me. And in that time,
I'm going to try and
have a baby. It sounds like even if they don't have the baby, he's like, I'm not touching you for 14 days. I'm going to go a miracle. The guy goes along with it.
Get a chaperone.
She's still gonna.
Yeah. Like you, what you do is you go to dinner, you have a chaperone with them the whole time.
I don't think.
And you take saltpeter the entire time. So it's not even possible.
It never got past the negotiations phase. Let's put it that way, to where like he never signed the dating contract. But
I can't imagine
she's
why.
trying to do this to multiple people. So it's absolutely nuts.
And so when I say crazy, I do not think this woman is mentally ill. I kind of think she's a bitch. That just sounds like
her family helps. Her family helps her with the crimes.
No,
serious.
Yeah,
no,
it's nutty. You guys have to listen to this podcast. It tells the whole story. I'm in part of it.
Can you shout out that podcast?
Yeah, it's called Love Trapped by Stephanie Young. It's an iHeart podcast, and it tells the whole story. And I went and I live streamed this trial. That was the first thing I ever did on YouTube, was cover this case, and that's how I got here. So.
God,
I'm gonna have to check that out. You said her name's Laura Owens.
Laura Owens in Arizona.
Laura Owens in Arizona. Oh no, we were in Arizona.
I know, we were just that you got her pregnant.
I got her pregnant.
Oh my God, I lived in Arizona. I lived in Florida and I lived in Arizona, and I'm starting to think that there's a reason for that. Maybe I'm crazy too. I don't know.
Oh, why the big transition there?
Well, when I was in college, I was a swimmer, so I wasn't working out for my first couple of years. I had some problems, and 2011, 2013 was a very different time to be like a closeted gay person. Let's put it that way. And so I just needed a fresh start. And so
no, you're not wrong. So Jan Brewer's daughter tried to get me to sign a petition to get the gays out of Arizona when I was in.
What?
Yeah, seriously. What year was that? Like 2000?
This is like 12 years ago.
God.
And so I'm in Arizona. The Jan Brewer was the governor. Her daughter, I don't think Jan Brewer had anything. I don't even like Jan Brewer, and I have to say she didn't have anything to do with it. Like I politically, we are worlds apart. She's very, very right wing, very weird woman. But
she wasn't trying to remove all the kids.
Yeah, but her daughter is like next level weird, and she wanted me to sign a petition to get the gays out of Arizona. So I told her what I thought of her. And
will you be sending us on vacation, or where are you sending us?
I don't know what she was going to do, but I explained why she should kill herself for about 15 minutes.
Okay.
And after she was in tears, the publicist I worked with was like, well, we're trying to work with the state. You might want to talk to her mum and apologize for making her daughter cry. Not the why, just the publicly eviscerating her daughter part.
Oh my God.
And Alexis, my assistant, turns around. She's like, I'm so sorry. She's having adverse reactions to new medication. We're currently in the process of suing the pharmaceutical company.
Oh, no.
I was not. She's just looking at me going, shut up.
Oh.
It was literally just a shut up moment. But yeah, those can be pretty weird states. I was in Sedona, so I was with a different kind of weird, but everyone's super open and cool. Then I got around Phoenix, and I was like, oh.
It's different wherever you go. You
know? No. I'm working with like Matthew Earl Jones. He's the film commissioner, James Earl Jones' brother for Arizona. Amazing guy. Like these are really chill people. Then there's Jan Brewer's daughter.
Mm-hmm.
You know, we're talking about how you're kind of making sure.
How did you deal in that area and that climate? I know Alexis carried a passport because she was afraid of being deported.
Dude,
like,
not well. I was really young as well. So like, and it just wasn't like a thing that you really, in the small town that I'm from, it wasn't really a thing that you talked about. Like I went to high school in Jacksonville, which is a bit of a bigger city, but you didn't have like gay kids in school and stuff like that. So, and I was in high school, so I didn't know what to do. And then
I'm going to have to publicly disagree. I think you mean the phrase, you didn't have openly gay kids. Because statistically, statistically,
you know what I mean.
There are gay kids. Yeah. Like, and it's going to be the preacher's kid. But yeah, no, I agree with you.
You don't talk about that is basically the thing. You don't want to be that person, because the way that I would hear other people talk about, oh my God, I think they're a lesbian or whatever. It's like, you don't want to be that person when you listen to your friends talk like that about other people. So like I just couldn't do it. I felt. And so I was at University of Florida for a couple of years, and like it was always my dream to go there. And I loved the school. Right. And I did love swimming, and there were a lot of people who were really good to me that I was very close friends with. But there were also a lot of people who were honestly kind of hateful towards the openly gay people that were on the team. And I would hear the way they would talk about them behind their backs. And it made me miserable, and I didn't know how to deal with it. And so I transferred. And when I was transferring, I went on all these recruiting trips, and I kind of fell in love with the University of Arizona and the team there. Even though Arizona is not a super gay friendly state, I just cared about the people I was going to be spending all my time with, and they were very like different people. You could tell like there was a lot of quirky people on the team, and like everybody was super accepting and friendly with each other, and I just loved it. And so I went there for my last 2 years.
That is wonderful.
I like that, and it's funny, and it's gonna sound terrible, but when you've got openly gay women on the swim team, you are going to have people who turn that into something it's not, who are openly hostile, who are like I really think America needs a policy of you get to smack people in the mouth once. Hear me out. If America went with the open your mouth and you might get hit in the mouth, people would learn not to talk and say dumb things.
Yeah.
It would definitely change things.
Everyone gets one. You get to slap a person one time in the mouth, and they learn or they don't. Mm-hmm. But I guarantee you that's going to put, I'm a huge.
Wait, if everyone gets one, but like 7 people don't like what you just said, do they all get?
Oh, no.
Yes. And you will learn. And you will learn. I believe in free speech. I want to hear, like the KKK actually tried to hire us to do that press. Yeah, seriously. They wanted to clean up.
A chapter or?
Yeah, a chapter when we were in Arizona. And they tried to hire us to clean up their press. And I'm looking at them like, you've got to be kidding me. No.
That's insane.
Of course, I'm not going to do that. Are you out of your mind? But I'm a huge proponent.
We need better public relations.
They did. That's what they wanted to do. They wanted to make themselves seem family friendly and put on some camps for kids. I'm like, but they wanted to call it camps
for kids.
I'm like, I'm looking at these people. I'm like, you've got to be joking. You want me to clean up your press? You believe I'm a woman. You believe
how do you clean up the press around something like
everything? That? I did. Well, I don't know. The worst part is I could have done it. I'm very good at my job. I'm not gonna. but I could have.
You shouldn't even have attempted that. I'm glad.
Of course,
didn't.
I didn't.
Yeah,
that's not even a question. I have one moral, like not many, but I have one.
That's good. Good to know that one's there.
But I'm a huge proponent. I don't believe we should stop these people from talking. I think the people on your swim team, the KKK, we should give them as much talk time as they want, because I want the warning. Yeah. I want to know I want to know who they are and where they are.
I'm sure, like, it's been 15 years since I started school there, and I was only there for a couple of years. I'm sure a lot of them have changed, right, their tune at this point. I feel like even seeing them on Facebook and stuff, they're very very liberal, very inclusive type people. So I'm like, yeah, they might have talked about it back then that way, but I think I don't want to make it sound like they're all terrible people now. You know what I mean? Because we were like teenagers, and now we're not. So there are some people who are still very awful, I'm sure, but a lot of them have changed. So
I think this government kind of makes it okay for people to say things that 10 years ago would have got someone eviscerated.
What do you mean? No, I'm just kidding.
Yeah, we only have a few minutes left. I want to ask this question, so you have to excuse me. We mentioned briefly that you do kind of take time away from the YouTube to focus on the job, but also make sure you're not being too, I want to, for lack of better words, overzealous or being too dramatic in it. But I'm curious if you have any upcoming stories or any news pieces that are going to be dropping soon, because, well, one, I'd like to hear more about relevant facts in the world, but also just to see the channel continue.
Yeah, so there's a lot of things that I'm going to be following along with. One is the David and Celeste Rivas murder case, the Anna Kepner murder case. There's a lot of murders, unfortunately, going on, right? And then there's another one that I'll probably get into a little bit more soon, which is actually related back to this great flood that happened back in 93, where this guy seems to have been scapegoated and put in prison for life, and he has his first parole hearing coming up. But they basically blamed this one guy for breaking an entire levee that flooded a bunch of farmland. And the thing is, if it had been a natural disaster, as it seems to have been some sort of natural issue, they wouldn't have gotten insurance money for the land that flooded. But if somebody happened to cause it, then they did get insurance money.
Oh, shit. Well, of course.
I think it's James Scott is his name.
I know this isn't what you want to spend your whole life doing, but I hope you do, because you are what is left of the press. I know my people, I am one of them, have absolutely cannibalized free press, and we're going to. We are going to sell it. We're going to put a Coca-Cola ad in it, and we're going to make you think it was your idea. We are going to use native advertising to the point that it doesn't exist anymore.
Can we at least do Sprite or something? I don't really like Coca-Cola.
Fine. I will. Actually, I work with Pepsi more often.
I love the concern. Is listen, I get you're going to get people to think that aliens are fucking real, but would you please do Sprite ads?
The worst part is, now that you've said that, I'm going to do a Sprite ad next in one of my next things, and it's coming up.
I'll watch it. I'll watch it.
I'm going to hold you to that. But please do keep doing what you're doing, because we are well past the days of Walter Cronkite, where the news was given and people made up their own minds. You are it. You, Popcorn Planet, the people that are actually going out and doing the legwork themselves and reading these court transcripts, because everyone else is getting an AI edited version, and the AI version is controlled by the companies and by the people doing it.
Yeah,
it's by the me's of the world. So it is nice to know that there are people out there. I do hope one day, you put together your own team of investigators and journalists and just run into this full force, because you are all that's left.
Yeah,
of truth.
Well, I'm definitely thinking about it. Probably just going to take some time, I think.
Well, I appreciate that you're doing it, and I thank you. And I know this isn't my country, but this is my country by choice. So knowing there are people like you that are putting real media out there, that are putting real news out there, when people like myself are trying to bury it, it's nice to see. And I think what you're doing is incredible. I think you're doing a very good thing for a great many people, and I don't think people appreciate you enough, or people like you that are doing that enough. So I do thank you. And I hope to God I never have to work against you.
Oh God!
All I'm thinking is, I'm like, you're on the list of people. I'm like, I'm not doing that. You and the KKK so far. That's it.
Okay.
For different reasons.
Different
reasons entirely.
That's not a list I'm sure I want to be on with the KKK.
No, it's people. It's people. They're on the I won't hurt them list. They're on the I won't work with them list. They're just two people so far.
It's one of those people who are like, oh, I'm on the Epstein list. No, wait, I clean trash on the island.
It's a whole different
I was a
thing.
janitor. Wait.
So please tell everyone where they can find you on social media.
You can find me on YouTube. It's called Court of Random Opinion, but you can find me at my handle anywhere. It's Lethal Lauren 904. I have separate Instagram accounts and all that for my YouTube channel, so you can find me there.
If you guys believe in freedom of press, if you believe in a free media, if you believe in free news, this is what's left.
If you just believe in not being lied to.
That's it. This is what's left. I'm trying to sell you something. Everybody in my job is. It's what we're paid to do. If you want real media, if you want real news, if you want to look at a real press, you can find it on the internet. And you are looking at one of the last bastions of, kind of Walter Cronkite's shadow. It's yourself. It's Popcorn. There are very few left. So I thank you for doing that.
Thank you. Yeah. Appreciate it. And it's always good to talk to you guys. So.
Well, I appreciate you coming on. We'll, of course, call you on again when there is more Blake Lively nonsense, which has been happening nonstop.
Yeah. All right.
So thank you very, very much for joining us.
Yeah, thank you.
I know we didn't get to a lot of the questions we wanted to ask, but I will ask this. Yeah. With Blake Lively, with the minimal she has to pay, she's trying to spin it as if she won. Do you think her reputation is ever going to recover? Because the netizens have really pushed back against her.
I mean, no, I don't think it'll ever be the same. Do I think she'll recover? I mean, she's a very powerful husband. I'll put it that way. I think that it's possible. Certainly it's possible. I would love to say no, but I don't think that's realistic. I think it's possible that she will. Yes.
Well, hopefully Ryan Reynolds will leave her because the public backlash matters to him more than his marriage.
We'll see. I see a lot of people
see.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
That's the direction I'm hoping for. So thank you very, very much for joining us. Guys, make sure you are following her. And I do want to say thank you very much thank you for coming on. Very, very much.
Yeah, thank you. And reach out anytime.
I'm going to hold you to that.
All right. Bye.
Take care.
Thank you guys for joining us. Press isn't what it used to be. You are not getting freedom of press. It's paid for. I know I'm one of the bad guys. But if you want free media, you can find it on the internet. It's not about doing your own research. Don't ever believe that. And don't believe Facebook.
Don't believe people when they say they've done their own I don't want to say that, I guess. But most time, if they're saying I've done my research or hey, do the research, they haven't. They saw a post on Facebook and that's the end of it.
Facebook really should be grounded. Oh, we're working with them. We love Facebook. Thank you for joining us. I'm the Baroness. We are on with my co-host, Fuzzy McPubic Back.
The baddest bear in the cage.
You
Bear
said
Fiorda.
You have pubic hair on your back.
I know. I'll never live it down.
That is what Fuzzy McPubic Back. We'll see you next week.
Good night.
This has been Behind the Scenes with the Baroness and Bear Fiorda. Only on Talk 4 Media.